All right, let's go and get started today. So first off, before I forget, last time I forgot to announce that ABET is doing their accreditation today. So they are on campus and they wish to ask all of y'all a bunch of questions about how amazing our program is, our computer science program is. So, go ahead and tell them that. But they'll be coming in at 10 o'clock. It's really, they just want to interview you and see how, from a student perspective, the major's coming along, I think. This is my first time having to go through this process, so I'm new to it just like you are. But in any case, we have to stop by 10 o'clock because they're supposed to show up at that time. They may or they may not, but I'll be done at that time, and hopefully some of y'all will stick around asking questions. Everyone okay with that? I mean, I understand we're all introverts, so you may want to run away. I get it, but it's fine. All right. So today we have a lot of little pieces to put together, and then we should be ready to cruise on through the rest of this course. So last time I couldn't get gnuplot installed. I got it installed, guys. So today we're going to go ahead and finish up with that, as well as taking timing results, so I can show you how to do timings. Then after that, I realized I kind of breezed through everything needed for Lab 6 as well. So I'll start talking about Lab 6 as well as Lab 4. And we're going to go through some good examples of doing unit tests so I can thoroughly show you how I would do them from C++. You're, of course, free to do it how you wish. And then if we still have time, I'll go ahead and go through your first project. So yeah, I know, probably if the ABET accreditors are coming on, I shouldn't assign you 2 labs and a project, but that's what's happening. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, then you can be completely honest about this class, right? Yeah.
I was waiting for this point.
You're waiting for this point? Oh, okay, good. Look, I actually like criticism as long as it's constructive, because I understand this course has way too many labs, but I don't know a better way to do it.
Separate the 2 courses.
That defeats the purpose.
To you, maybe.
Well, no, because if the point of it is to make sure that you can code, at a certain rate and be able to research everything yourself and get it up and running. You break it into 2 courses, I'm going back to holding your hand. No hold handing, yes.
What are the due dates for all 3 of these things?
They should be in the PDF. I will get to grading Lab 1 and 2 today with ABET. So slight apology on being late there, but I'll get to that today. And then all the other due dates should be correct inside of the PDFs. Good question. Any others? All right, gnuplot. So last time we talked a little bit about getting timing, and with gnuplot is just a tool to do plotting. You've probably done this with Excel. It's just another tool to do it. It's going to look kind of weird at first, but it's actually fairly helpful. Let me move my window over, clear it. So if you run gnuplot from the command line, you actually come up with another terminal, and this is the gnuplot terminal, and you can use it to go ahead and type in different gnuplot commands. And I never remembered them either, so I go look them up. Plot sine of x with line. Hey, look, it's the sine of x. And you could go get really fancy and do the cosine of x. Oh man. We good so far? All right. Nice to start off easy. Notice that printed to the screen. If we're going to try and print our timing results, we want to save it to a file. So we need to tell gnuplot to save it to the file, and you do this by there's different ways to do it. I think this is the easiest one. First, you tell it that you wanted to do a PostScript. If you're not familiar with PostScript, that is generally what your printer accepts. So, and PostScript is kind of a subset of PDFs. So you'll come up here and you'll set terminal, aka where it's ending, PostScript color. Sounds great, gives you some things. Hey, by the way, you could set the font size and scale of whatnot if you wanted to, but whatever. And then you got to also set the file that you want. We'll call it data.postscript. And then you can plot the cosine of x with lines. Ooh. And notice this time nothing popped up. It just returned because it actually wrote everything to a file instead. And if I get out of gnuplot, by the way, to exit gnuplot, I think you can type in exit or you can do Control D. One thing about Linux is Control D is the end of file descriptor, and that's a very common way, bless you,
Thank you.
in order to exit a program. Y'all know about end of file descriptor? Too much? Not too much. All right, so usually at the end of a file, they have a special marking for when you're at the end, so you know you've ended it. And the OS gives that to you. And that way you know when the input has closed or terminated. And Control D is how you do that from standard in. So you say it's standard in, it's into the file, because everything's a file in Linux. All right, so if I do an ls, hey, look, I have data.postscript. I can do events on data.postscript, and there it is. It's amazing. Now, events is nice enough to print or display a postscript. Not everything can open a postscript, so you may want to convert it to a PDF. You ready? Type in ps2 pdf data.postscript, and then you do an ls. Hey, look, it's data.pdf, and then we can do an events on data.pdf. It's the same thing. All right. How are we doing? Looks like a lot of typing, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh, by the way, you can set the title, the Y label, the X label. There's how you converted it, and then you can run name of, events it later, like I showed you. All right. This, of course, is way too much work to do by hand. So let me go ahead and delete these two files. We'll go into class code. And I think I started with gnuplot, maybe. Oh, here we go. So, interesting. So instead of having to type everything, you can store all your commands inside of a file. And by convention, we call it a .plot file, just to give it an extension. So hey, look, it's all the commands I typed in, but look, I added a title, an X label, and a Y label. And then I told it to plot the sign of X. So I can go gnuplot, simple.plot, and then you do an ls, and then there's output.postscript, so I can put it, or I can events it, and there it is. Hey, wasn't that a lot easier? And of course, that's still way too much typing in my opinion. So you can actually put everything inside of a make file. You can remove the old one, GNU it, and then events it afterwards. In fact, let's take this a step further. ps2 pdf output.postscript, and then we'll delete the PDF. Now I just type make, and there we are. All right, I think I can live with just typing make. We good so far? All right. So let's see, where's